Hi, PGCBL fans. My name is Aidan Joly. I am alongside Glens Falls Dragons head coach Jon Mueller as part of our team preview video series. Jon, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on here, Aidan.
Appreciate you
It's good to be a part of this.
Yeah, appreciate you taking a few minutes to talk to us. So my first question is: last year was your first year as the head coach in Glens Falls. Just how did that season go overall for you guys in being a head coach for the first time?
Being in the league for the first time as a head coach and just being a part of the league for the first time as well was definitely an eye opener. Definitely going to be a lot of adjustments made this year due to roster selections, numbers in the pitching staff, numbers defensively as well. Really trying to come up here, change the culture in year two, start something new up here, get it going again. But it's definitely a very, very competitive league. There's a lot of high level players as well as high level coaches as well too. So it's great to be a part of the league, network, make new friends, meet new coaches, absolutely, and be around the players too.
Yeah. What's some of those things that go into changing the culture of the Glens Falls program? You just mentioned that a minute ago.
It's just trying to get guys more directed to understanding, hey, upstate New York is a great opportunity to be a part of in a summer league, especially in the Perfect Game League. It's one of the most competitive leagues to be a part of and one of the most well-known through over the many of the years. A lot of the guys that come and play in the league, they come from very successful programs as well too, from Division III, junior college to Division I as well too. But my goal here is to just get the numbers in, the guys that can get the job done every time and get an offensive approach for these guys, because a lot of them come from different places and whatnot. And I just want to make them feel more relaxed, more comfortable to compete here, not feel as if it's, they got to compete at a next level, get the starting job, because you're here to get your innings in, you're here to get the work in that you need to do. So I'm just here to let the guys enjoy themselves during the summer and also be very very dedicated to their craft.
A lot of the coaches that I've talked to have, emphasized we want to send these players back to their programs, better than they came. Is that something that you guys are looking to do in Glens Falls as well?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not here to change mechanics on guys because they've gotten to the college level of baseball doing what they're doing, and their coaches, I don't want to send mixed messages or anything like that, interfere with what their school ball coaches have told them to develop and work on. So I'm here to pretty much implement the exact same kind of thing with the players as well too. So try to get to know the guys, understand what their coaches want from them to work on in the summer, and take the approach at that the correct way, so the guys can produce and get better and also get their time that they need in.
Yeah, and some of those players that you mentioned, who are some returning players that you can tell us about?
We got one of the very successful pitchers, Riley Orr from Castleton University. He was a very big right-hand pitcher for me last summer. Had a bunch of great starts. Guy can really compete. We have also we have Cameron Darrow that's going to return back too as well. He was a pretty good starter for me last year as a right-hand pitcher. We have Reese DeCastro, third baseman, very strong defensive player, very good offensive as well. So he's going to be returning. We have, I think that's so far it, right? Matt Chase as well too. He's going to be a big arm that's coming back. Other than that, I got about, say, 15 new arms that I'm excited to see come into Glens Falls this year, I can say. So
yeah, who are some of those new arms and just new players in general that you can tell us about that you're particularly excited for?
I'm very excited about a couple of new guys. I've seen them perform so far live, and I've also seen a couple of videos of them. But I got Armando Ritchie, who's going to be a Siena pitcher. He's very strong, very competitive. I have Ben Layden from he was a Burnt Hills High School graduate. He's very strong too as well. He's I believe. Then we have Griffin Briggs. We got Andrew Kramer, Jake Washock from Suffolk. We have Eddie Gertler, who is going to be a Siena commit this year. Joe Lauer from Siena. I have Hunter Chandler from SUNY Adirondack. Bryce Emery from SUNY Adirondack. Dan Shalla. I got Dan Cohen, who's going to be a Yale commit as well too this year. I have about I'd say about 20 to 22 arms, hopefully for the summer, that are going to be very competitive for me and be very productive in Glens Falls for themselves as well.
Yeah, is this a team that's going to have an emphasis on pitching? Because that's what you've alluded to these past couple minutes here.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's my main goal here is because, I mean, that's what we've been lacking. That's what we lacked last summer. So I took a real big emphasis on recruiting pitchers this year. So, I mean, guys are going to have their innings and they're not also going to get overused, which is very good too as well, especially coming out of a long school season. Hopefully every guy makes playoffs. That's the goal.
Yeah.
So, I mean, keep their workload light, but also keep them working hard.
What goes into recruiting all of these players from your standpoint and kind of a front office standpoint as well?
Yep. I mean, I have many hands in that help me with the recruiting process. I mean, I have the owner that helps me a little bit with the recruiting process. I have a handful of coaches that I've either played with or I've worked with as well too in the past or present that help me out with the recruiting process, that either get me in contact with guys or find me a way to get the guy that I need to. But for the most part, I mean, it's just going out, talking to coaches, figuring out what the best guy is going to be for the best situation, living wise as well too. Because I mean, it's still tough. I mean, everybody's coming out of the whole COVID lapse and everything, stuff like that. So I mean, it's still tough to get guys from out of state to come in.
Yeah.
But,
What's
I mean,
the
go ahead.
Yeah. What's the brand of baseball that you guys are going to be playing this summer?
I mean, brand of baseball. I mean, I'd like to say is I'd like to focus more on, I guess, the old school small ball style is like what I
Okay.
would like to play. I'd like to see more guys getting out there, more eager to bunt for a base hit or put the sack bunt down instead of trying to launch every ball out of the baseball park. Because I mean, strikeouts are becoming more prevalent in the game of baseball. So I mean, I'd like to minimize that, get guys more focused on getting base hits done, move guys over. So I mean, and pretty much really like to dominate the mound on this summer.
Yeah.
On the end of things, dominate the pitching game.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about the ownership group that you guys have in Glens Falls, because it was a similar ownership group that owned the Albany Colony Yankees in the 90s and just had, the guys like Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera, Andy Pettit, Jorge Posada, that whole group. How much legitimacy does that give both the Glens Falls program and the league as a whole, knowing that it has that history?
I mean, hey, it's part of the league. I mean, it's been around for years, and I think it's a huge asset we have to be a part of that system, that program. Because I mean, at the end of the day, guys look at that, they say, hey, these guys played here, they're baseball legends in our eyes growing up and stuff like that. So I mean, they want to be a part of that. They want to get as many eyes as them as they can. And again, there's been many guys drafted out of this league every year. There's always somebody that goes out of this league. So all eyes are on us no matter what in the Northeast. So, I mean, I think it's huge to have that Albany Colony relation, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
It's definitely huge.
Yeah. My last question for you is, what can you say to the fans in Glens Falls to encourage them to come out and support the team this summer?
To the Glens Falls fan base, I mean, I would really like to say I would love to see the guys. I'd love to see everybody fill the stands, get the guys really going, build the morale going. I mean, we have about 40 guys coming in on the roster right now, and they'd love to have the boost and whatnot. And these guys are all excited. They're all amped up, ready to get going in the summer ball after their school season finishes. And more fans, hey, the more energy it gets the guys going. So I mean,
yeah,
the guys are going to feed off the fan base. That's how it is in baseball. Once you get to this level, more fans, more energy, the more wins that come across from that after.
Jon, I appreciate you taking a few minutes and talking to us here.
Absolutely, Aidan. I appreciate it. It was a great time.
Yeah. The PGCBL season will be opening up on June 3rd. Make sure you follow our social media channels as well as pgcbl.com for all sorts of preseason and in-season content.